Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us with this second of our asynchronous meetings for Accreditation Team. It just seemed like a good alternative, again, to stick with this format this time around and keep everybody safe and healthy at home and get some of these tasks completed before we meet again in person. Here's our agenda for this round. Please make sure that you sign in and sign out on the digital attendance sheet. It's the same as it was before. It's linked right here, so you can click on there. Sign on in, put your time in, time out, so we have that recorded. Today we will be looking at both the domain 2 and 3, so the learning capacity and the resource capacity. And we're going to do a bit of organizing of these folders and these substandards that are in there. So if you go in and you open up the Accreditation Team Google folder, you'll see that there are a slew of things. Let me click on that guy right now. All right, so you see a bunch of stuff in here. This is the PowerPoint from today right here. This right here are our standards. And what I did is I went in and divvied them up individually. So we're not going to worry about the first domain right now, the leadership capacity. We're not going to worry about that. But we're going to take a look at domain 2 and 3 again, so learning capacity and resource capacity. And for example, I have Cobb right here is just going to look at 2.1, Brown 2.2, Birkeland 2.3, Wade 2.4, and so on. And then again down here in the resource capacity, Cobb has 3.1, Brown has 3.2, Wright has 3.3, and so on. So those are the only ones that you need to look at, but you're going to look at those for the OP, for the middle school, and for the high school. Okay. And when you go look at those, there is a document that I'm going to have you fill out. It looks like this. So here's a learning capacity one, and it looks like this. So when you open up yours, if you're assigned domain 2.1, you'll go right here, you're going to type standard 2.1, and then in here is all the evidence that's under that standard currently for each of the buildings. So if I'm going to go back into my accreditation team, I'm going to go to my individual schools. I will start here with OP. Here is domain 2, and if I open up 2.1, we're going to take a look at what's in there right now. So you should see this. This is the copy of this as learning capacity domains, copy of the document I just showed you. You'll have that open. And then what I want you to do is look at what's in there already. And then you're going to start filling out this evidence sheet. So right now, if I have this looks like your OP schedule. So on this learning capacity, I'm going to write in here, we've got the OP schedule. And in particular, help if I, typed that correctly. And if I go back, special schedule. And then if I open that guy up, I just want to check to see if the labeling is good. And so we remember we're going to label it like what it was. So 21, 22 OP specials, the standard, and then the building. So the title looks perfect. That's all set, and this is the master schedule, so that's going to fall under that 2.1. Brief overview, and then I'm just going to write the 21 and 22 master schedule. And that's it. And then I'm going to go over to the next piece of evidence that's in there. I'm going to open it up, take a look at what it is. This is the Elmont Fall Data Days agenda. I might have to label this differently. I might want to label it with 2.1. and then OP, but everything looks pretty good. So I'll go here and I'll do the same thing. This was the agenda for the fall data. Okay, so OP, fall data, agenda, and then just a brief overview of what the document is telling us. And I would read through it, say, okay, they're looking at MTSS. They've got some color coding going on. We've got some data boards and some analyzing some data, some work on the IRIPs, and just a brief summary of what that document is telling us. This is going to be very helpful. This is a document that will go to that team that's coming into the Zoom with us, and they'll be able to go through here and look at that brief overview. And then it helps us organize this, and it helps us see what are some of the items that we may still need in order to really meet that standard. So if you're 2.1, and I think that was Nikki, you're going to do the same thing for the other schools. So if you're going to go into the middle school, I'm going to go to domain 2. I'm scheduled for 2.1. You should see a copy of the document, the resource document placed in there. And it looks like there's 3 things in there. So you're going to do the same thing. You're going to open up that document. and then you're going to type in there what you see. So in this case, it looks like the AMS curriculum course guide, some letters to parents, and it looks like a success period. And then same thing, go over to high school, look at the one that you're assigned. Here's 2-1. You should see a copy here of your document that you're going to fill in, and there's a ton of stuff in here. So same thing, just fill that all out for yours. And so your assigned items, let me close out some of these tabs up here so we're not going crazy. You're assigned just one here for 2-1, and then just one here for 3-1. So you'll do the same thing 3 times over here, OP middle school, high school, 3 times over here for OP middle high school. And you might get to one and there might not be anything in there, and that's okay. So we would just need make sure that we note that we need some information. So if that happens, just make a little note. So this is the high school. I'm going to go back because I did see one earlier. So if I'm at the middle school and I'm in domain 3, for 3-1, there was nothing in there, and that's fine. Just means that we just need to find some evidence to put in there. So if that's your domain, just open this up and then just like make a little note at the bottom, needs evidence, and then put the date that you're working on it. And that would tell me that we just need to go back in and find some things to throw in there. I'm sure we have them. It's just, we just haven't gotten to that part yet. You're also going to see that there's probably just some documents that are just kind of wailing out there. So if I open up individual schools, for example, I've just been throwing things into central office right now that I come across. I have not organized this at all. So if you have some extra time, you're feeling bored and you want to start organizing these, feel free. So these, if you open it up, you'll look at the different domains and figure out which one they go into. So we got some work ahead of us. Going to open this up. Those there, that's there. Our next meeting would be on January 26th. I'm going to aim to have that in person because I think by then we'll have a chance to come back together and kind of talk through things as a group. And then once we get into the spring, we're really going to start rolling and start setting up who we're going to have on our committees for when our parents Zoom in and our students Zoom in and our community members Zoom in. So right now we're just working on gathering all of this data and evidence to support these documents right here. So that's our agenda. Here it is again of what the ones you're assigned to. And this was just an example that I had pulled, but I just kind of walked you through that already. And then there we go. Next meeting is January 26th. If you have any questions, feel free to email me or text or call me at 810-956-4116. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it.